Well, for a lot of us, fresh cut flowers in our home, they're a special treat, like really special in my home, and not something that we have every day. So we thought we would bring in a professional to help us maximize the life of our flowers. Wendy Cracchiola is a design consultant, and she's right here in the Valley. And you've brought along some beautiful flowers. We want them to last a long time. Can you help us do that?
Well, I do have a few really good ideas.
Okay.
First of all, you know, the basics, change the water every day.
Every day. Not just when it starts looking dark.
Right. And a fresh cut is always a nice way to keep the life of the flower.
Now, you know, when they give you those little packets,
yes,
do those really work? Should we be dumping the whole packet that comes with our flowers?
I think you can kind of judge, you know, that maybe a third of it based on your vase size.
Okay.
However, you know, I have as much luck without the packets.
Okay.
I really think it's fresh water and a fresh cut.
Fresh water, fresh cut. Okay, well, let's start down here and sort of go down the list. Are there certain flowers that will last longer than others?
Well, if you're taking maximum care of them and you buy them fresh, of which I recommend in my rules for house flowers, is that you always ask if they just came in. When you go to buy them, I think is key, because a lot of times people who aren't really, you know, clear on the age of the flower might buy the older ones.
Right.
So, and also
because they've bloomed and they're looking so pretty,
exactly.
Right?
You're really teased into buying the older ones because they are at their most beautiful.
Right.
Yes. Well, this is hydrangea, and this is not a long-lasting flower, but it's a happy flower. It's called a hydrangea, so you could only imagine it needs a lot of hydration.
Okay.
However, I love to just stuff the heads of these into different containers. You can run them along a dining room table and last for a couple days if you do the work and clip them daily and change the water.
Now, are these the kind that sort of start to turn brown when they get bad?
They do. A hydrangea doesn't have a real long life in Phoenix, especially in the summer. However, you know, if they are cared for and you buy them fresh, they're going to last a lot longer.
Okay. All right. So what about these guys?
Well, Gerber daisies. This is just a beautiful Gerber daisy that it's just a different type of Gerber, and people love them. They make them happy. You know,
these are my flowers of choice, my happy flowers, and they last a long time.
They really do. They really do. And again, if you're buying just the one bunch or the one color, they were all cut at the same time.
Okay.
Which is a huge bonus because you're not buying flowers cut at different times.
Okay, so buy the same kind of flowers as opposed to those mix arrangements.
Correct.
Because you never know which ones are older and which ones aren't.
Right. You grab and go, the mix bouquets, and you see them kind of dying faster. A lot of times it's because, you know, A, B, and C in the, you know, the bouquet of 10 have been cut a week earlier than maybe some of the other flowers.
Okay.
So you have better luck with the one kind of flower cut out of the same bunch at the same time.
Now, when we're cutting the flower stems, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows this, but you don't cut it straight, right? You cut it at an angle?
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about if you actually can go and do a sharp knife for a nice angle. A lot of people can hurt themselves.
Yeah, I would hurt myself. I need to use kid scissors.
Yeah, maybe cut away from yourself. I don't know. And people have turned it into a bigger motion than it needs to be, so scissors are probably more adequate for just a home designer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting them on at an angle.
That's
right. What about roses? Is there any big difference between how long they last between the bigger guys and the little guys?
Well, I just happen to love the button roses. I just think they're sweeter, maybe for a new baby or a baby's room. Or
Isn't that a great shot that they're showing right now? That's beautiful. Take a picture of that.
I don't think there's anything prettier than the baby button roses. And I've renamed all the flowers. I don't go by botanical names. And this is the larger roses. They all have different lives. Roses are tricky. I'm not going to tell you any differently. There are some that last much longer than others. Some colors last better. You know, and the mutation or the growing of them, I think sometimes they strip some of the ability to last longer.
So it's almost like hit and miss. You really never know what you're going to get until you find a good florist.
And they open differently, too. There's bullet roses, and then there's really pretty opening roses. So you kind of have to get familiar with that.
Well, for timing's sake, what's up with the lemons?
Well, I'm a nut for grapefruit and the pink grapefruit growing right now, and so I just
there's a lot growing right now.
Yeah, and I was in an old home years ago, and the house person had put all these beautiful citrus in these old containers that probably otherwise wouldn't get used in your home. And you know, you're cooking, you grab a lemon off your tree, how fun, and it just looks pretty, and maybe you're more inspired to eat them.
You know what I'm thinking right now on my counter at home? I have a big thing of Tangelos sitting in a bag with it tied in a knot. we're taking those bad boys out. We're going to decorate around the house.
You're more likely to eat them if they're grabbable.
Great. Wendy, thank you so much for coming on. I hope you come back. You've got some great ideas, and they're simple, like everyday things. We've got your information right up there on our website. We're going to have her information up there for a while so you can check her out. Thank you again. All right, a new round of celebs is ready to take the apprentice crown. The Octomom needs